Hey friends, how are you guys doing? Happy full moon. I'm on Eastern time, so we're just now peeking into this full moon energy. Ooh, what tarot deck? What tarot deck do I want today? How are you guys doing? I feel like it's been a little bit intense. I'm just going to be real. I'm tired. I feel that we talked about Pluto's big shift. And of course, just always going to tell you the reminder. It's going to be common, turn of phrase to say Pluto is now in Aquarius. And Pluto is. We're going to retrograde back into Capricorn one more time. And then we'll be like full on da 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 Pluto and Aquarius for 2 decades. Okay. So, but yes, Pluto shifted in Aquarius, and that stirs the subconscious. That stirs the spirit is saying the bottom of the pot. It brings things up. I also feel like there's a lot of common denominators in this energy, in this full moon chart, but in the energy right now that trace back to. Sorry, I'm shaking my shaker cup. Excuse me, a lot of common denominators trace back to, without taking up time in the video. I think Molly McCord is the one who I first saw do this, but she like traces back the common denominators of rulership when she looks at a chart, like for a full moon or a new moon. But long story short, it's a heavy Neptunian influence, and so underneath that, of course, a lot of things trace back to Piscean energy. But again, without kind of going through to break all that down, we got a lot of Neptune influence right now, too. And we kind of talked about Pluto shifting into this energy. Kind of feels like we're going to get up and, yes, thank you so much, Capricorn, for the work, in the garden, etc. But we're going to get up and get to the spaceship. And so is all this outer planet cosmic spirit, I almost want to say out of body feeling experience, definitely could have you feeling like you're not sleeping well. So yeah, and I mean, anytime a big planet, a big energetic current in the collective energy, right, is again, hello, Age of Aquarius. We're all learning to practice if we haven't had this as a part of our lifestyle already. Spirit is saying everything is energy, basically. Everything is energy at the end of the day, just changing forms and changing perspectives and etc. So an awareness of what's going on in the collective energy, in whatever lens of archetype you look at that resonates with you, right? When you look at the astrology, it's like when I do one-on-one work with people, I explain to them that it's like knowing the weather, but not letting it dictate everything you do. So the weather, collectively in the astrology, is a lot. It's a lot of change. It's a lot of shifting. Also, with it being that predominantly, if we're looking at 2024 being an 8 year, right? There's a lot of energy of the strength card there. It's very lion. It's very fire. Chinese, year of the dragon is very dragon. It's very Leo. Fire element, heart chakra center, solar plexus ruled. So there's going to be a fast, magical, oh my goodness, type of pace of manifestation, of experiencing time, of seeing things come to fruition, or even seeing change happen. So that, you know what I'm saying, in combination with a big move that Pluto is doing, although the big move is like, Pluto is in the process of packing up, saying goodbye. I'm going to go over here for a minute. I'm going to get things set up in Aquarius. I'm going to double back around and go on and hit up Capricorn later on one more time. And then I'm going to officially move in and settle down into Aquarius. But with all this movement, listen, I bet you feel tired. And in combination with, and we'll talk about the full moon chart. We're going to talk about full moon in Leo, and then I want to talk about the T square with Jupiter and Taurus. you just can't really, you've got to double back and once again touch on Pluto and Aquarius. You know, Sun is in Aquarius. We're in Aquarius season. Shout out Aquarius gang gang. Woo! I have an Aquarius stellium in my chart, okay, y'all? So yes, I do be vibing with the aliens. You know, very cosmic. I get it. I get it right now. It's kind of hard. It's like trying to tune into a station and, you know, all right, let's get with it then on in as this year opens up and unfolds. So yeah, we're definitely going to talk about the full moon, you guys, but it's like have an understanding that the backdrop of a full moon, of course, as we know, you guys, if the sun is in Aquarius, the full moon will be in Leo. These are the polar opposites. They're complementary. They're also very opposite. And it's good to have, you know, an awareness of all of that as well when you try to understand and get dressed for the weather, right? Like, why am I, oh my gosh. I've heard a lot of people say like, girl, my dream's been crazy. A lot of people's like, oh man, I feel like I'm sleeping, but I'm not really sleeping. Or, you know, gosh, no matter what I do, it's just like, I feel so tired. Excuse me. Let me say this because Spirit is pressing it in that it's so important, you know, in my intuition, I feel, it's important to understand, hey, you know, like pat yourself on the back, please. Can we do that? Hello, that's Leo energy anyway. Hold on. Let me congratulate my damn self. Because listen, since the fall of like 2020, when we prepared to go through that wormhole, and then we kind of enter anyway, it was this whole great conjunction energy, but going into 2021, I mean, these last couple years, you guys, energetically, it's just been intensity, increase the pace, intensity. It's like, y'all, it makes me think of, you know, I played sports a lot, and it makes me think of, some would say soccer, some would say football. I'm going to say soccer. But yes, I do understand. People will say it's football. It's not the point. Listen, in soccer, right, I had a very serious coach in high school, and it would always be like, we're going to run one more sprint. You'd be like, damn it. You know, we were at a big school. Over here, we would call it a 4A school. It was very large. Therefore, you guys already know what's up if you played sports in high school, okay, and you were conditioning. We had a huge football field, running the stairs, but you already know, putting the stairs aside, the football field, it was so big. And it's like if you did suicides, we used to run the lines, right? And you'd just be like, okay, one more line. And then the coach would hit you with that, listen, we're going to do one more. And then she'd be looking at you as, you know, Aquarius is co-ruled by Saturn. And it's that big coach type energy. What are you worthy of? What are you qualified to get? How hard can you run it? Can you really hold it down? If I give it to you, we're going to do one more. It's that coach energy. You know what I mean? The last couple of years have felt like that, you guys. Child, right? So it's like, you know, your coach in your higher realms, your guides, your ancestors, your team in higher spirit, right? All these energies, your own personal evolution of quickening as we've entered into the age of Aquarius to prepare you for Pluto going into Aquarius, all right? For 20 years soon to come. Okay, it also makes me think about, oh man, Spirit was showing me something and it was right there and then it's just a wisp. But yeah, you know, it's a coaching energy and it's like this. Oh, you know what I was thinking of is when we shifted from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius, we shifted from I'll sacrifice myself for the highest and best good of all the collective, to now shifting to I absolutely must. It's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. Spirit wants me to press in on that. In the age of Aquarius, you're not sacrificing yourself. You're becoming the most authentic version of yourself. And I'm going to tell you something. You already signed up for that ride when you were in spirit, setting up, you know, your contracts, chilling with your ancestors and guides, and your various levels of divine self when you were in the Akashics. Do you know what I mean? We signed up knowing it was going to be the age of Aquarius. Excuse me. We signed up. And so it's not a matter of what am I trying to say? I think the message is trying to be impressed that once again, as you shifted from that age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius energy, it's kind of this vibration of, it's kind of this message of, we can do it like a dance or you can get dragged. But one way or another, you know, would that we prefer you not have to repeat and repeat and repeat certain karmas, repeat and repeat and repeat certain cycles. But hey, you know what I'm saying? If that's how you want to play it, it's like your spirit team and your ancestors and your higher self are saying that's how we're going to have to play it. Do you know what I mean? It's like trying to teach someone a lesson in algebra and you just like, look, you got to pass this part of the exam. So, I mean, however, how hard do you want to make it on yourself? And you guys know, you understand, we contracted to be here during this time. And so it's like, we will evolve. And it's love and light is love. Okay? Because ultimately it is for the highest and best good of yourself and the highest and best good of the collective, of your spirit tribe, your soul family that you came here to work with, right? But in that age of Aquarius, in that personal evolution to your most authentic self, your most authentic self, let me go ahead and put as a side note, is not only going to be the version of yourself you like best or that feels most comfortable. We didn't say we are evolving into your most comfortable self. Girl, I know, right? What do you mean? My most authentic self might not be my most comfortable. No, may not be. I mean, even the things that feel most authentic for us to do, you know, are not always going to have us in comfortable positions. And oftentimes, more than not, the energy of Saturn, the energy of that coach who's going to tell you, run the sprint one more time down the line because I know how strong you are. You may have to leave friends behind that keep you from practicing your sprints. Now, do you love, let's go with this metaphor. Do you love to play soccer? Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. Okay, well, part of that is that we do the conditioning. Do you love the conditioning? No, I don't. I run a lot personally on this side note, on this sidebar, I guess Spirit's having us go on. What is this making me think of? This sidebar that we're on makes me think of this T-square in this full moon chart, with the full moon forming this tension, this T-square with Jupiter and Taurus. Okay, and when you think about it, is this opposing energy between Leo and Aquarius? It's this Jupiter and Taurus kind of comes in. It's like playing a mediated, grounded energy. Listen, and all the wisdom and all of the things and all the ways that you've expanded, if we remain in our optimism, which Jupiter likes to do, if we really want to grow and evolve, we have to understand it's not just about us. It's about us in balance with the group and the needs. You know what I mean? Also makes me think of the Aries North Node, Libra South Node energy. But the point is I bet you a majority of people who want to play on the soccer team, they're not going to say doing conditioning and Springer and whatever is their favorite thing to do. Yeah, girl, you know, friend, let me tell you, I would much rather be doing other things than running these stairs right now. But I understand for the best way to play it, and because I love soccer and I understand what my part is to play, and that is my passion. Yo, we gonna run these stairs together. Right? Anyway, it just makes me think of that. And it's a challenging energy because, you know, us out here might be raising our hands talking about, I feel like I've been on the sprint line since 2020. Oh man. Or some people who began their, personal, spiritual, or self-awareness, whatever, how you would label your journey of becoming more aware, evolving, some might say ascending, growing, becoming more authentic to yourself and your beliefs, and walking the alignment of those timelines to come into the alignment of what this dimensional experience has been. Sometimes for us, that journey started like a decade ago. You know, it was kind of this little pocket, or rather a huge pocket, you know, around 2011, 2012 time frame. And so some of us have been, sprinting in cycles much longer. But I definitely know that there's a huge chunk of the collective, especially in 2020. Anyway, in 2020, you didn't have a choice but to sit right and get right with yourself. That's what Spirit just said, because we were all in a pressure cooker of our houses, and you either sat right and you felt good there and you loved what you created, and you got a lot tighter with it, or it was right up in your face, the contrast that you did not like. But either way, that's what I'm saying. We've all been running the sprint line for a minute. Okay, so give yourself some grace. Give yourself some compassion. Again, this Jupiter T square, this Jupiter and Taurus T squaring the full moon, it will say we got to have a little peace about it. Okay, because what's Leo energy about to do? Leo energy about to come up on the stage in its shadow and cause a bunch of drama. Oh my goodness. Love and light. Sometimes we need that Leo energy to shake us up a bit. Sometimes that can be more in a toxicity of a shadow Leo. But this T square and this whole analogy that I'm thinking of here that Spirit is bringing forth, it is kind of like, almost like Jupiter and Taurus saying, check your ego a little bit, okay? Because abundance comes in different ways for everybody, because wisdom and growth and everyone having what they need when they need it, and the collective evolving for the highest and best good together, that looks different for everybody. We may not all be flashy about it and fast with it, and a lot of times we are going to need to, because it's not just the highest and best good for me. I need to be authentic to myself. I need to feel safe and provided for, and I need to experience certain things. Yes, that does play into the whole of the collective, right? But, that's Aries North Node, Libra South Node, and we have to understand it's for the highest and best good of everyone involved as much as possible, right? As we all are learning to grow. So, and it is so interesting because we have that polarity between, obviously, Sun and Pluto in Aquarius, and Leo full moon. It is very much, individual other, attention on me, growth for everyone else. Big, flashy, selfish, egoic abundance versus, abundance as the whole, standing, well-planted, humanitarian focus, these things, Jupiter, Taurus, Aquarius. Then I don't know, it's just like this, hey, this Leo full moon out here. But, it's, anyway, let me get back to it. I'm just trying to say that you be graceful and compassionate with yourself and everyone else, because we have kind of been through a lot of closure. We've been through a lot of release, and we're tired. I also like to remind people, that it's also a wheel of the year type of energy. If you are earth-based and observing or practice, or you like to follow the earth in any kind of way, it is like, I want to come and sit and hold your hand, just be like, we're still in winter, babe. Like, we're still wintering, and it's okay. It's okay. I also love that Leo full moon is also in alignment with compassion in the heart space. A Leo full moon is kind of a beautiful preface. Some might say this is the first full moon of the year, and you can view it that way. But you can also think about the fact that technically the lunar new year has not really started over yet. And so you could also, if you choose, do what's best for you at the end of the day, okay? Your intuition, you're your own highest and best guru. Follow your intuition. Do what feels right for you. Your path has got to walk out with you how it feels right to you. As long as you're harming none and you're doing your best to grow and evolve and consider the highest and best good. Anyway, I'm saying You may look at this as the closing of the final lunar cycle before we restart a new lunar year, right? And then, of course, technically, if you're thinking about Gaia and the wheel of the year, um, it's an unfoldment, right? I'm going to stay reminding y'all of that in the winter, because sometimes it really gets crazy out here, and it's just, we're not meant, our adrenaline, our overstimulation, all this energy, it's not meant to be like that all the time. And it's just, it's okay to be tired. Okay. It's kind of nice to, we are still definitely, I will definitely stay, we're in an energy of doing vision work. And right now, with a full moon in Leo and the sun in Aquarius and Pluto shifting into Aquarius, you can definitely be doing vision work about, how do I get out in my community a different way? And what are my visions for that? What does community, maybe however you see fit for your life and your lifestyle. I would encourage you to find at least one way to get out brick and mortar physical in this dimension. What do you say? IRL, okay? In real life, like, find maybe one thing that you can go do, but this can also be applicable. Of course, Aquarian energy is very technological. We can connect in the astral, we can connect online. We have spirit tribes, soul families, and communities. Of course, I can vouch for that. I have many people, many sisterhoods, connections. I get it. We have communities online as well. And those are very beautiful, and either way it goes, you may be evaluating, like, community. What is my collective? Like, what is my soul tribe? Is that a group? Is that I don't know why, Spirit is also impressing that if you pay or subscribe to something, that may not really take the place of having a soul family. So just be mindful of that. That's why I'm saying, is it a yoga class? Is it, I think I'm going to go out and do that pottery thing, twice a month, or I'm going to do that paint thing once a week, or what is it, the beginner's yoga, or maybe I'm going to go to this running thing. I keep putting it off, or the hiking trail. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. It's finding a way to connect in your community. Yes, technology and the internet, and, through yet energy, I really believe I have many soul family members that I've connected with online. Absolutely, for sure. Some of them watch these videos all the time. Thank you so much. I love you very much, and I consider you my family. Absolutely. But, yeah, a Leo full moon in Aquarius season is definitely like, hey, how do I feel drawn to kind of embrace, who I am by showing up around others? Again, yet another theme that is also echoed by Aries in the North Node, Libra in the South Node. It's a healthy balance of, like, your ego, and then, of course, with Aquarius being very much the hidden water bearer, bringing the refreshment of energy, acting like a window that brings through the prismatic, all different colors of light, and lets everything be seen in different ways and refreshing ways. And then Leo is very, heart chakra. It's very creative. It's very passionate. It's, here I am. This is me. Is very much an energy of go out and share yourself with people. And it looks to me like people's auric bodies kind of bumping into each other for the first time. And it's like, do, like, my light codes swished around something with your light codes. Oh my goodness. And you would think, wow, we just hiked on a trail together, but you never know. And it may not be like this, wow, I met a soulmate. This doesn't always have to be romantic, by the way. Or, wow, I just connected with this friend, and da da da. And that will happen sometimes, but sometimes it's literally just people of a like-mindedness with very specific encoding auric fields and heart chakras and information exchanging in the grid work of wherever you go, when your hand touches a piece of clay pottery, or you're using a paintbrush, or you're sipping a drink with a group of people, or you're walking with your feet in your energetic exchange on like a hiking trail, or you're running through a city. That all of those can be different forms of grid work. It's important to go it's like light codes and grid work, but we're sharing it with people. We're sharing it with places, even your throat chakra, your voice. If you're, for example, I signed up to take a class. I'm not saying me, myself. Oh, actually, I did sign up for a class, but you maybe are appearing on a Zoom video, and it's like your voice brings a certain wavelength of frequency, and these groups interacting together and exchanging. It's real time, right? It's considering, how can I do something with my passion? How do I feel led to be creative? How can I contribute to my community or a collective of people, or spirit tribe of people, right? How do people like... It's like people being muses to us, Spirit is showing me. And again, that kind of goes back to this energy of like walking into a room, and it's like these auras, your auric energetic field. When you look at people, when your voice is in a space, these energetic exchanges, kind of like activations to each other that wouldn't have occurred otherwise. I think that's a beautiful energy to kind of go out and make an investment of your energy and time somewhere. In a space. And again, there's reasons and situations, or just the way that you feel as a person. You may be like, I'm not doing that, or I'm not a people person, or maybe it's with animals, maybe it's with plants, maybe it's with Davic land spirits, or, there's the fae. There's tons of different terminology we could use for that. It could be the spirits of land, of going on different hikes, of going different places, or it could be working with animals. It could be a number of things, right? Or it could be that you, like I said, took the Zoom class, and maybe you're not going out in a brick and mortar building, but you are connecting with gratitude to a new thing, and it's either moving your voice, or you're making eye contact and connecting energetically with different people. I think that's going to be super important, and that will continue to unfold after the full moon in Leo, which again is like this preface to this unfolding of a year that is ruled by so much Leo energy. And again, you gotta embrace the importance of this whole, the full moon is over there in Leo, but the sun is in Aquarius and Pluto is in Aquarius. So it's kind of like this opposition between these two groups. So we kind of have a big light, Leo rules the sun, the biggest source of our light, which then connects us to the other suns and then the bigger stars, etc., right? So Leo rules the sun, and the sun is in Aquarius, and, the full moon is in Leo. So I'm saying this big light is shined upon Pluto, kind of bringing death to like lower vibrations of our perception, lower vibrations, stagnant, or you can even say, maybe you don't choose to say lower and higher. Maybe you could just say stagnant, or stuff that doesn't work out for you anymore on an energetic level. You don't really connect with it. We can kind of release attachment to those things, and the amplification of, I know it's a full moon, but again, the full moon being ruled by Leo being ruled by the sun in Aquarius, which is an even bigger window to lots of levels of starlight in the cosmos. It's a lot of energy aiding you on first of all, the awareness of something, and secondly, the detachment from it. This energy, I think, can be super intense. And even if you're like, I think I'm doing okay with it, your body may be processing a lot. And then remember going back into the astral realms and out there in the dream time, your body, your team and spirit, your ancestors, your guides, you think of like astral surgery and things that are going on, and your body just may literally be tired, processing a lot. So again, just be patient with yourself. A lot of emotions are moving out of our bodies, out of our heart chakra space, especially heart chakra blockages, things that would block our crown chakra, I think even our solar plexus as well. But, it is very interesting because you think the sun is kind of the source of life, right, here on our planet. And then Pluto rules death. And so again, with the polarity, it's like it goes back to what I was saying in the other collective video. And I think this full moon amplifies and reiterates this point, is that it was this whole message. And it makes me think of the fact it was this whole message of, you got to put something on the altar. We gotta destroy energy. Remember, we were saying everything is energy. Energy never is gone. It just changes form. It changes shape. And so it's kind of this thing of like, I was working with in my own personal work. I had pulled the Ten of Wands last night. I had it sitting out because I wanted to journal more about it. And it's this energy of just closing old karmic cycles and walking more in Dharma, or you would say maybe leveling up. I'm not going to repeat certain coursework anymore. I've graduated from it. Is this energy again of some things have to die. Okay, I'm trying to say it nicely. And listen, friend, I'm telling you as much as I have to tell myself. Sometimes we just have to let that storyline go. We have to let that past thing, person, place, thing that happened, the way that it happened. Oh, can I fix it? Or they owe me, or do I owe them? Or what about the current? All that is got to go. It's got to go. We just give peace to it. We understand if there are pockets that we are still grieving in. We can feel those feelings, but ultimately, things have to be let go so we can understand the need to make space for something new to come, and then the sun, Leo's ruling the sun, the full moon in Leo, something new wants to be created. And the energy of the year of 8, the energy of the strength card, the energy of the lions, the energy of the dragons. There's so much potential for this year to aid you in creating beautiful new things. There's so much magic. There's so much Spirit is saying magnetism. There is so much available, but it's a matter of, are you going to carry some things? I made this reference. I can't remember if it was a collective reading or personal reading, but I was saying this whole thing about oh, this is so interesting. What is Spirit showing me? I'm sorry. So it's the image of, the Ten of Wands card. You can think of like a traditional, that is a much deeper deck that we're not going to talk about. But in traditional decks, it makes me want to find it in this deck now. Hey, Page of Wands and the Moon on the bottom of the deck. Ooh, and the Knight of Wands. Listen, Leo full moon coming through, y'all. Yes, with the Fool. I just flipped the bottom of the deck over, honestly. And we have the Fool. We have the Knight of Wands. We had the Moon. And we had the, Page of Wands. Oh, yes, absolutely. I love in this that they have the tiny flames, the yod or the yods, falling down. I love this card, kind of gives a wink between the sun, the full moon, and like a crescent moon. It's like all these different points together. Anyway, this is a great depiction in this card. But yes, I love this energy, and I think it really supports everything we've literally been sitting here talking about. But I was going to look for the Ten of Wands in this deck. Spirit, where's the Ten of Wands? Where? Because it was this whole image of carrying things up to like a big, oh, this is fascinating too, because the other day, you guys, I was writing about Nauthiz, which is a rune that means need fire. You can definitely check that out to learn more about what it means. It's literally understanding, you know, what you need and what you don't need, and the difference between need and desire and sacrifices and no pain, no gain. It was this whole energy, and I was writing about it. And now I'm thinking about this image of the Ten of Wands, and I was talking about it, and at one point in a video of there's a big fire, let's say like a bonfire to celebrate the full moon in Leo. Let's go out there. We're making this bonfire in the astral, right? All right, you can meet me there. Only in love and light with the highest and best good and purity of intentions. Thank you so much, Spirit and ancestors. Otherwise, you can definitely meet me there at the bonfire. But we would carry these 10 of Wands on our back like need sticks for the need fire, okay? And if this rune, it kind of is like a straight rune and then a line going this way. And it's supposed to be an image of like when you would rub sticks together for a need fire to start a fire. But it was this whole thing with the 10 of Wands, and it was like, you can't carry all the wands. You've got to get to a place where you throw some of that into the fire. And it was this offering into the fire. And then it made me remember also, that someone was, I can't remember where I read this at recently, like yesterday in an article about the full moon. Child, let me find this 10 of Wands card. But it was talking about that square. We were talking about Sun in Aquarius, Moon in Leo, square Jupiter and Taurus, and it was this whole, again, a T-square, which you could even take that rune, Nauthiz, and if you turned it a certain way, it might look like a T, but traditionally it's turned that way. Y'all, damn it. I'm going to have to show y'all. Look, I got to find a card. I got to find a rune now. It's all coming together. Spirit's like, bring it together. But this article was talking about this T-square is like Jupiter and Taurus nurturing a fire. And it was like this sun, this full moon, this Leo energy, this fire burning. And then Jupiter is the great expander, and it is expanding, this fire burning, where we have to have courage to. Then comes like Pluto with the death energy. You've got to have courage to like throw something on the fire. And they were just kind of, you know, talking about taking a risk. Obviously, don't go shadow side and go real crazy and go real chaotic and throw everything on the fire. And I'm not telling you, you need to practice balance in all areas of your life. Actually, the rune, Nauthiz with the need fire will teach you that too. You can't go throwing everything on the fire just for your desire, because then that's how you're going to get karmic as fuck. But that's not the point. It was just this imagery they were painting in the article, talking about, you know, Jupiter, and then Taurus is anchoring and grounding you into the land, into the permanence and the longevity. But Jupiter wanted to expand the creative fire. And now it just makes me think of this 10 of Wands, where we're taking these things off our back, these past storylines, these past versions of ourselves, these past limitations, these, what else Spirit is saying, the traumas, the triggers, the limitations that we put on ourselves by you know, Pluto and Aquarius can bring death to those things if you call it to be so. Oh, there she is. See that? Sorry, it's kind of hard to see, so small. Nauthiz. See how if you turn it a certain way, it might look like a T, but anyway, we're going to put her up there. The need fire. You can't. The 10 of Wands. You cannot, you know, it's like overdoing it, because Jupiter on the shadow energy can be like overdoing it. What you think you about to walk through this year of the lion and the strength card and the dragons carrying 10 wands on your back? I don't know. I just had this image of like you trying to get on the back of a dragon to ride up on to get these codes, these light codes that you're going to get in Pluto and Aquarius right now. Your ancestors, when all this Capricorn energy and stellium, they've done packed you up real nice and fine. You're getting ready to go on get on the back of the dragon. The dragon's like, what is it, y'all? Forrest Gump. The dragon said, can't sit here. And you're like, what? This is my dragon. Here's my ticket. You can clearly see I've done the work. I have earned a ticket. I'm supposed to get on a dragon, right? And is like, can't sit here. The dragon said, why you're overweight? Why is it like trying to get your bags checked to get on a plane, y'all? We were just talking about in the Pluto video too, y'all. Ooh, the guys have so much to say. They're going so fast, it's hard for me to keep up. It's like getting on a plane. We were in the Pluto reading. We were talking about how you're going to leave the garden and Capricorn and all this Capricorn stellium energy, and your ancestors are like, okay, you need to go get on your spaceship or get on your ship. Now it's like you're going to get on a plane, you get your bags checked, you know, and they're like, 10 wands? Oh, honey, no. You cannot get, you can't, oh, there it is. You can't get on the dragon. With all those wands, honey, no. You cannot check those bags. So it's the need fire. You have got to put the wands on the fire. Hell, I don't know. I don't know. Spirit is for some. It's for some. I feel like Spirit is like, you can go ahead and toss the lot. Toss the lot of them. I don't know. Toss the lot. What is it? We want the lot, where they get all the candy. Toss the whole lot on the fire, but not for everybody, you know. And then Spirit wants to remind you too, you have Page of Wands, you have Knight of Wands here. You don't got to worry about the wands. The wands will return. That's your energy. That's the spirit of your chi, your willpower, your essence. You know, it's you. So therefore, it'll always be for you. But the way that you are carrying these 10 of Wands and closing out this cycle, these wands have to go. What is he doing? Is he riding with is he riding with a bunch of wands? Nope. He's got one. Does he not have one? Oh, how about does he have does the Fool have a huge, gigantic backpack? No, he don't. Show me one image where the Fool gets ready to start his new journey and he's carrying a big old backpack. Well, how about the Page of Wands? Let's see. Was the Page of Wands? Nope. Look at that. She only has one. She only has one. Okay. So there's definitely things that need to be burned on the need fire. We need to embrace how Pluto wants to help us with this big shift. And you may be called to, with that Neptunian influence, Piscean influence, go back to other timelines. Go back to what is the highest frequency of a vibration that you can call in. Call in that timeline. And then everything that you call in and the energy of that timeline is going to become magnetic for what comes into your life. Okay, do you really want to first of all, you ain't going to get, let me tell you, first of all, you ain't going to get on a dragon with 10 of Wands. Ain't none of these, she look like, don't they both look like they might be riding dragons? Okay. Nobody going to be going on those kind of rides with that much on their back. So let the Pluto energy assist you. And this is also, Spirit is also reminding me, in this year of 8, we have to understand that the energy of 8, it's not only related to the Strength card, it's also the 8th house is Pluton. It's very Pluto ruled. It's very scorpionic. It's very, just as high as we can go up with the brightest light. What happens? You already know what I'm saying? It's going to cast a dark shadow. So as much as you become aware of all of the frequencies of, the dragons and the fire and the lions and the all of these frequencies that are coming in, you are only as strong as like the best knowledge that you have of your shadows too. And so again, with this influence of the kind of the underbelly of that scorpionic energy, and in this undercurrent, in the shadow of this 8th year, this Pluto shifting will bring things up to the surface to help you not be controlled by your shadows, right? You may see, oh man, that thing is just floated right on up and come out the closet, hasn't it? That's all right. Go over there and grab it and put it on the fire. You can do that. Let me tell you, if you keep shoving something to the hole, like you got to feel it to heal it, right? If you keep shoving something back into the closet where no one can see it, that's not feeling it. That's depressed. That is repressed. And also, it's not going to get to the need fire. You can't burn it to make room for the new that wants to come through. If you keep shoving it into the back of the closet, that's not what we're doing. And it's almost like the year of the dragon, right? This new lunar year getting ready to open itself up in February is like put the dead things in its mouth and it'll help you carry them off. You know what I'm saying? The energy of that level of fire, of light, of high frequency vibration will eliminate those if you ask, if you let go, if you let that Pluto energy, if you let that scorpionic undercurrent, that underbelly float it up to the top, then you can do what needs to be done with it, right? Okay. Wow, that's crazy. Sometimes when you talk through different things like the need fire and the Ten of Wands and the stuff that I was experiencing last night, Spirit connects the dots in a big way. So I really wasn't planning on discussing any of that. We do have the moon card on the table. So it's really important. Again, we've touched on other things already, but it's really important to... I'm going to tell you, if it wasn't any other year, this year right here is so full of face your fears. I can't even stand it. Because we have to. There's powerful vision work to be had. There's powerful dreams and spiritual experiences to be unlocked. But none of that's going to happen if we keep kind of shoving things down, blocking our heart chakras, which will then in turn float up and block our intuition. And then before you know it, your crown is going to be cut off and you feel like you're not really connecting to your team and higher self or to your gifts or, I also think this full moon in Leo is going to be a big opening. It makes me think of this because of the way the flames, the yods are raining down from the moon / you could say moon / sun, right? But it's like the Spirit is saying it's like the release of your fears and embracing your passions will unlock a lot of gifts for you. And I think because we are looking at the moon card, it's really like intuitive gifts. I've already talked about how I think the clairs are going to be hugely amplified this year. It is definitely the rise of the light worker, the healer, the, energetic worker. There's a lot of light packages that are already within you that you have already been given, Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, that are going to unfold in a new way with the Fool. It's like the packages, remember we talked about, it's like the packages are already in there, but they're going to start becoming unpacked. But I feel like a huge precursor for your guides, for your spirit team is, are you going to put some of that stuff into the need fire? Are you going to lay some stuff down this full moon? In Leo, we are closing out the lunar cycle that really technically it still stems from last year's lunar cycle. And we're going to start in February as the light returns, and February as the Lunar New Year begins, and then we get closer and closer to spring equinox. Ooh, and then that zodiac wheel is going to be reborn, and we're going to hit that Aries energy, and we got that Aries North Node. Don't get me started, because remember, take it back to the eclipse seasons that we had. What was everything doing? Last year was popping off in Aries. That's when we got these light packages to begin with. So I'm so excited to see what will unfold. And you know what? I think that is the message that I have for you guys. I really do hope that you enjoy this full moon window. I also hope that you're good to yourself, that you are compassionate with yourself and others, because we're all going through these shifts and changes together. And a lot of people are feeling a lot. There is a lot of intensity, but I'm always going to tell you to return to your spiritual and emotional and mental health hygiene. Have a good routine in play there. Take good care of yourselves. Okay. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. I hope you enjoy this message and you find it to be helpful. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.